Hello, America. I'm going to entitle this Manipulations because it's all about the information that we receive. You know, we've reached a critical point in our nation's history that we are so perilously close to losing our country, our Constitution, our Bill of Rights. It's really a scary thought. Only one man stands in the way of this happening, and that's Dr. Ron Paul, because he's against everything that goes against our Constitution and our freedoms and our liberties. You know, the mainstream media is been controlled by the ruling elite, the people behind the scenes. They control the information that you receive, so you can't make an informed decision. You can only make a decision based on what information you receive, and if the information is lax, then you can't make an informed decision. So you have to dig. You have to go find it. Most Americans don't do that. They trust what they see on the idiot box. Which brings me to a pretty important point. That not long ago I remember reading where the mainstream media reported that 75% of all Americans do not trust the mainstream media. But still, we get the slop and the misinformation and disinformation that they put out, or the lack thereof information, and are supposed to make an informed decision on what they report or don't report. If you don't know about it, how can you make a decision or have an opinion about it? A case in point is the NAU or SPP, the North American Union, or Security and Prosperity Partnership. That's a laughable name. Security and Prosperity Partnership? No, it's nothing security. It's not about security or prosperity. It's all about control. And the sooner that the American people know about it, the sooner we can stop this insidious undertaking from gaining ground. You know, if that comes to pass, our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, and our representative form of government are done. It's over. This country will no longer exist. And you have to realize that. It just gets us one step closer to global government. How about the implications associated with the Patriot Act or the Military Commissions Act and the suspension of habeas corpus? You know, that's a pretty big deal. But a lot of people don't understand what that means because they don't know what the law says. I know of what I speak because I've read the law. I've followed this information for a long time, and I've dug into it to find out what it means. And as far as habeas corpus is concerned, hopefully that will come in a later post, and what it means, and what it does, and how it protects us. How about CFR, or Trilateral Commission, Council on Foreign Relations, and Trilateral Commission? Pretty benign sounding names, but nothing could be further from the truth. You know, these organizations and the members of them, if what they did behind closed doors was ever allowed public scrutiny, those members would not be in their positions for long, because their seditious and treasonous acts would be out there in the open. They mean to control the masses. They think that they are better equipped to think what's right for us than we are. They can control the information that we receive. It's all about manipulation. History is replete with the evolution of governments and how they become oppressive and despotic over time. And if the people don't stay vigilant and informed and keep an eye on what governments do, then that will happen. And it has happened. Is it so inconceivable that it would happen here? Because it has been happening, and you've seen it. You've witnessed it. I've witnessed it. But it happens in such a slow and methodical manner that we don't recognize that we're boiling ourselves to death, like the frog in the water. Put a frog in the water and just turn up the heat, and he'll stay in there. till he dies from being boiled to death, because he just doesn't know. It's exactly what's going on here. It's been such a slow and methodical encroachment of our rights and our liberties over time that we don't realize that we're boiling ourselves to death. Ron Paul is not a CFR member. He's not a trilateralist. He's a strict constitutionalist. He doesn't get money from lobbyists or special interests because they know that he's not going to vote their way if it's not in line with the Constitution. This is a nation of law, and he respects that. And I can't find anything about the man, and they can't find anything about the man that's derogatory so that they can smear him. That should speak volumes to us. We need a man with integrity. He's the president that we've been waiting for. I've never been able to get behind a presidential candidate before. Not in this manner. He's gaining popularity by leaps and bounds. His campaign is growing exponentially. Why is that? Because people love the idea of freedom. They do love their Constitution. They do love their Bill of Rights, and they do love their country. But they just don't know what it is that this government has been doing over time. Read the Buck Act. Read the Tradings with the Enemy Act, or the War Powers Act, the Patriot Act, the Military Commissions Act. It's scary stuff. Scary stuff. If we don't put a stop to it, we are the true power, but we have to assert it. We have to be belligerent in our action. We have to be nonstop in their face and belligerent. Big brother is watching, and little brother, he's got a big mouth. I get a big mouth. 10 two-letter words. If it is to be, it is up to me. Or, if it is to be, it is up to us, a collective mass. Dr. Ron Paul is the embodiment of the Founding Fathers' ideals. To vote any other way is selling this nation out to the globalists. You have to realize that. There's no other answer. Ron Paul is the only answer. He's the only candidate worthy of a vote and worthy to get into that White House. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Nazi, Communist, whatever. If you love this country and you love what it stands for, then you need to get behind Ron Paul. Join a meetup group. Donate to his campaign. Get out there. Put a bumper sticker on your car. Wave some signs. Just talk to people. Who is Ron Paul? Tell them who Ron Paul is. He's going to save our country. He's going to give it back to us, where the true power belongs. We need that man in the White House. Hopefully more to come soon. Bye for now.